Throughout the multiverse, countless individual universes are said to exist, not only the 16 competing universes in the tournament. Some of these differ vastly, others slightly. Just about every possible scenario exists in each of them, leaving us with a seemingly infinite number of realities. One of these, which closely mirrors Universe 14, the world where 17 and 18 manage to do as they will with the Earth, chooses not to focus on the Earth itself, but another planet we know well, leading us to wonder, what if Lord Slug had gone to Namek instead of our homeworld?
This story is an unofficial chapter of Dragon Ball Multiverse. Follow its creators, Shield and Rogeru, using the links below.
Year 762, Universe 14. At this place in time, the events we're already aware of include Nappa and Vegeta appearing on Earth with the intention of obtaining the Dragon Balls. Normally, they would be defeated, leading our heroes to venture into space in an attempt to save their friends who had fallen in battle. In an alternate reality, this same year, Lord Slug would arrive with his minions seeking the same thing. After a hard-fought battle, Goku had managed to defeat the evil Namekian and save the planet. But in this universe, things happened a bit differently. For this story, Lord Slug would instead venture to Namek. This leaves us with the question, where are the Z-Fighters? Are they also on their way to Namek? Or, in this reality, are they absent completely? On Namek, the elderly fiend would present himself as nothing more than a feeble old man, too weak and downtrodden to even stand on his own. However, we can tell even from afar that he radiates malice and ill intent. Local does his best to get him on his feet while making sure he's okay. Slug would detail how he's the last survivor of his planet, a planet ravaged by ancient demons. Although he desired only to be the guardian of his world, he failed. He could do nothing to prevent such misfortune. Though he was once a powerful warrior, the ravages of time have left him unable to protect his people. With no other options, he could only run, flee to his home planet to request the help of Purunga, the eternal dragon. With his help, he can undo the evils that have been done, as he doesn't have the ability to create Dragon Balls himself. He is the only one who can free his people from this evil and restore the order of things. Holding his visitor so he doesn't fall again, the unsuspecting native attempts to quell his concerns by telling him not to worry. The Grand Elder will know what to do in all of his infinite wisdom. Far atop a butte, Slug is presented to Guru as a distant, wayward ancestor by a village elder. He explains that he's come here to ask for help after a great devastation befell him. Being the soothsayer he is, the Grand Elder implores his child to worry not. He doesn't need to tell him the whole story. He can already feel that their guest's soul is indeed disturbed. Turning to Slug, he states he's aware there is something which afflicts him, instructing him to come closer. By merely placing his hand on Slug's head, he'll be able to see the truth. This is when the invader almost blows his cover, nearly smirking as he thinks to himself what a foolish old man the Grand Elder is. He thinks he'll be able to read his mind, but Slug is already well aware of such a trick. Gazing through their visitor's mind, Guru sees only partial truths, but unfortunately for him, believes them to be the full story. He announces their brother Slug is telling the truth. Horrible demons forced him to flee his planet, monstrous beings bent on pain and destruction, several misguided souls. He asks the village elder to gather the Dragon Balls. This threat must be eradicated immediately and for good. So far, every part of Slug's evil plan is falling into place. Placing all 7 together, Mori smiles as he motions for their distant brethren to use them wisely, who only turns back to respond, naturally. With Purunga springing forth in a blinding flash of light, Slug's henchmen take that as a signal that it's go time. The Namekian dragon shakes the planet below, bellowing he will grant 3 wishes which reside within his power. The fiend shouts that he needs only one, commanding the great dragon to grant him eternal youth, return him to the prime of his life, and restore his godly power. And such a simple request is easily fulfilled. Nail dashes towards him shouting Slug will pay for fooling him. He won't get away with this. As Slug's ancient demons move in, Doradabo gives chase, vowing to take care of him and protect his leader. seconds, the wish has taken full effect. Lord Slug returns to his youth. He can feel his energy returning, power once again flowing within his veins.
What the hell? Die, you worm!
The cavalry arriving just in time. They tell Nail not to worry and they're here to help. These guys are going to pay dearly for taking advantage of him like this. In all of his Mad Max glory, Ziyun gives off a sinister smile while chortling. Well, well, looks like they're not such a peaceful race after all. He tells Metamacha that this means they're going to make him suffer a little. Still submerged in the dirt while holding Nail by the ankles, Angela snarls that now since his foe's at a disadvantage, he'll give him the coup de grace. But with a sparkle in his eye, Nail smirks that he wouldn't be so sure of his position if the tables were turned. With that attack, the Namek spats out a bit of blood as he mutters, 1 down, 4 to go. While everyone stays busy fighting each other, Dorodabo turns his focus directly onto Nail alone, who motions for him to bring it on. With another one of his henchmen hitting the dirt, Slug cackles at the situation and how pathetic of a battle this is, and if his strength here is like anything we already know he's capable of.
1, 2! Disappear!
Sneaking up on him amidst the chaos, one of the warriors is able to grapple Ziyun, the final standing henchman. Getting a sadistic kick out of this, Slug actually cheers him on. He laughs, that's the spirit, show him what a Namekian is capable of. As Ziyun can only struggle and demand his aggressor let him go. Nail realizes what he's planning. His ally yells for Nail to protect the elders and the children. It's up to him alone now. With that explosion, Nail tells his brother to rest in peace. He will take care of these demons. They came here with nothing but lies and dared to attack them.
I will finish them! Come on! Yeah! Not bad, but not enough!
Easily sending Namek's greatest warrior flying, Slug crosses his arms to mock that this is the difference between a common Namekian and a super Namekian. He then turns to his henchmen, all of which still alive, though they've definitely seen better days. He barks that if they've stopped sleeping, they should go prepare the ship. Terrified of their leader, all at once they respond,
At once, Lord Slug!
Then accompanied with the sound of falling rocks, Nail pulls himself up screaming it's not over yet. He swears, as long as he continues to breathe, Slug will not leave here alive, causing the most dark and sadistic smile to creep across the villain's face yet. He snarls in that case. He has no choice but to pierce his lungs then. Nail fearlessly charges at him, shouting not to underestimate him. And zipping away, Slug smirks that he doesn't. Unfortunately, this universe is one where Nail's final stand for Namek doesn't go much different than the one we know, aside from his ultimate fusion with Piccolo. Slug confidently begins to walk back to his ship, thinking to himself that was a good warm-up. Now it's time to conquer the entire universe. Lord Slug has returned. Blasting back into space, he takes his throne. Reaching out to one of his underlings, he inquires on what news they've received from nearby planets. And in a bit of a surprise, the scientist reveals they continue to obtain information about the Saiyan. Apparently, every planet visited by him ends up destroyed. He's next headed towards a blue planet called Earth. On the screen, we're left to assume that the Saiyan in question is Turles. Unless, of course, in this reality, Goku somehow managed to retain his Saiyan identity, as he did in many other universes. Slug then demands they set a course for this Earth. They can't allow that Saiyan to destroy the few habitable planets in that quadrant. And with that simple order, it's decided. Slug's Demon Clan is set to face off against, presumably, Turles' Crusher Corps. With Namek left in ruins and all of its warriors eliminated, will the Grand Elder be able to do anything once again to save his people from the brink of extinction? Or does Slug plan to merely destroy his homeworld from space to tie up loose ends? Also, assuming the Z-Fighters are experiencing the same story we know up until the androids, how will they react to Lord Slug venturing across the universe to save their planet?